in the oldest part of Siam, called Panchan, there lived a handsome young man named Prince Suthon, who was the only child of King Atitwang and Queen Chantatevi. The young prince was a remarkable young man, handsome, intelligent, and kind. It seemed as if he had mastered every grace and showed an aptitude for many skills, but in one sport, archery, he had an exceptional ability. In the kingdoms to the east and west of Panchan, Prince Suthon was called Good Arrow. Good King Atitwang and Queen Chantatevi were proud of their son and were determined to find him a wife who was as beautiful as the rose and as gentle as a doe. The king and queen observed many young ladies, but none of them showed promise of being a gracious and noble queen. One day, Buntari, the most famous hunter in Panchan, discovered the secret bathing pool used by King Tumarat's 7 beautiful daughters. King Tumarat was a great king who ruled over the bird people in the far north. It is said that his daughters were the most beautiful young ladies in the world. They all wore soft feathered wings that could be removed at will. Without the wings, the bird maidens looked exactly like other girls. When Buntari saw the 7 pairs of feathered wings lying on the grass, he quickly ran to the kind dragon king, the Naga of Champuchit, and borrowed his dragon rope. Then he stealthily crept along the bank of the bathing pond and snared Manora, the youngest and fairest of all the bird maidens. Buntari carried Manora to the palace and presented her to King Atitwang and Queen Chantatevi.
Princess Manora will make an ideal bride for our Prince Suthon.
Buntari's prediction was fulfilled, for Manora's natural loveliness and gentle charm captivated every member of the royal household. Prince Suthon and Princess Manora fell in love, and the entire kingdom rejoiced at the news of their wedding. On the day they were wed, the prince said,
Manora, I am the most fortunate man alive. My beautiful bride, I shall do everything I can to bring you happiness.
Oh Suthon, my only request is that you never leave my side. When you are near me, I am happy. When I am alone, I think of my father and my sisters, and I become sad.
Unfortunately, Prince Suthon was forced to leave Manora soon after their wedding.
I must help my father's soldiers defeat the enemies who attack at the northern boundary. Please understand.
I understand.
The prince asked a trusted friend to take care of Manora.
Guard her well. She is the jewel of our kingdom and the treasure of my life. Friend, do not neglect her. Watch her night and day, and as a reward for your service, I shall make you the royal soothsayer.
Suthon's friend promised, and all would have gone well except for one thing. The old soothsayer had overheard the conversation. Late that night, King Atitwang had the strangest dream. He called the old soothsayer.
Last night, in my sleep, I saw my intestine unwind from my body. It rose like an enormous rope and wrapped itself around the entire kingdom of Panchan. What does this mean?
The evil soothsayer immediately saw a way to save his position. He rubbed his chin and looked very wise.
Your Majesty, your dream is a sign that a great evil will soon fall upon you, your family, and the kingdom. So great is this evil that all may die in its grasp.
How can we prevent this evil from coming?
There is only one way to appease the gods, your Majesty.
I'll do anything you say.
You must make a blood sacrifice. You must sacrifice the bird woman.
No! Prince Suthon loves Manora more than anything in this world.
Does this mean more to you and the prince than your own beloved queen and all your subjects?
The king had no choice, yet the horror of his decisions drove him into isolation. He placed guards at his door and ordered them to keep everyone away, including the queen. The queen thought her husband had lost his mind. She spent each day trying to see him, and then, when that failed, she consoled Manora.
Don't worry, child. We shall find a way for you to escape.
Good mother, you know Suthon would not want me to die. Please, bring me my wings.
The next day, a crowd assembled to watch the blood sacrifice. When the gates of the courtyard swung open, Manora was not tied to the stake. Her graceful wings were attached to her body. Suddenly, her wings stretched outwards, and as quietly as a swallow, she flew over the palace and into the sky.
May she reach her home safely.
I wish her well.
Manora flew immediately to the house of the wise old hermit who lived in the clearing near her bathing pond. She paused.
Wise one, if my husband comes to find me, please give him my ring of red rubies.
Bird Maiden, you know the prince will seek to the ends of the earth for you. I shall give him your ring and my blessing.
Manora's eyes filled with tears.
What he says is true. Please, try to protect him from harm. Will you teach him the prayers which will protect him from evil?
I will do that and more, Manora. I shall teach him the language of the birds and animals, and I shall give him some powerful magic.
Manora gently fluttered her wings and flew into the sky, heading in the direction of Sawanakon, where her father and 6 sisters were waiting to welcome her home again. As soon as Prince Suthon discovered what had happened, he set out to seek his wife. For many days he traveled into areas where no one had gone before. Wherever he went, he asked,
Can you direct me to the land of the bird people?
But always the answer was the same until the day he discovered the wise hermit of the north country.
Yes, I can direct you to the land of the bird people. The way is perilous, but if you know the secret prayers and carry my magic lotion, I think you will be able to arrive there safely.
If you do all this, I shall be eternally grateful.
The hermit gave Prince Suthon Manora's ring of red rubies, taught him special prayers, the language of beasts and birds, and directed him northward. For 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days, Prince Suthon traveled through jungles, forests, thorny fields, and over the highest mountains. One day, he was awakened by the chirping of great birds. They were larger than tigers and wore glittering feathers of sparkling gold and gleaming feathers of shining silver. Prince Suthon listened carefully, and to his great surprise, he discovered that he was able to understand the birds.
If we go to Sawanakon, the capital of heaven, we shall have a feast. I heard King Tumarat was having a celebration in honor of his youngest daughter.
Then he climbed on the back of one of the huge gold and silver birds. The great bird stretched his wings and flew directly to the lotus pond in King Tumarat's garden. Prince Suthon arrived just in time to see a party of bird handmaidens carrying golden pitchers to the pond.
Our Princess Manora cries all day, no matter what we do. She yearns for her prince who is far away beyond the mountain blue.
Good maiden, are you carrying your golden pitcher to Princess Manora's chamber?
Indeed I am.
It is a heavy burden for one so small. Here, let me carry it for you.
The prince carried the golden pitcher to Manora's door, slipped off his ring of red rubies, and dropped it into the golden pitcher. When the handmaiden splashed her pitcher of water over Manora, the ring of red rubies clinked before her.
Tell me quickly, have you seen a strange man in our garden?
Yes, my princess. He helped me carry the golden urn for a father.
Manora grabbed her servant's hands and danced merrily around the room.
Quickly, take perfumes, jewels, and silken clothes to him. He is my husband, and he must be dressed properly before he meets my father.
Later, Prince Suthon was presented to Manora's father, the great King Tumarat.
Prince Suthon, we bird people are impressed with your devotion to Manora. However, before you may claim her as your own, you must prove yourself worthy. Your Highness, I have traveled for 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days looking for Manora. Now that I have found her, I shall do anything you request in order to gain your blessing on your marriage. Your first test is a test of strength. Can you lift the solid stone bench in my garden?
Prince Suthon calmly walked to the bench, knelt before it and prayed to the gods for strength. The next moment he grasped the stone bench and raised it above his head.
Well done. Now, since you wish to take Manora from her homeland, you must prove that she is the only maiden you desire. Can you select her from a group of 7 young ladies? I would know Manora anywhere.
But he wished he had not spoken so quickly, because the next instant 7 identical Manoras danced in front of him. The prince prayed to the gods for help, and in response, a golden butterfly appeared. It flew 3 times around the head of the girl in the center. Prince Suthon took her hand and led her to the king.
This is my Manora. Only one task remains, Prince Suthon. You must shoot an arrow through 7 palm boards, 7 figwood boards, 7 plates of copper, 7 plates of iron, and through 7 bullock carts filled with sand. If you can do this difficult task, Manora shall be yours forever.
The prince did not pause for a moment. After all, his name had come to mean good arrow. With one quick, sure stroke, he placed his sharpest arrow in his crossbow and let it fly. Like a stroke of lightning, the arrow pierced through all the obstacles. It is said that even then, the arrow did not waver as it soared straight into the open sky and disappeared from view. The king watched the arrow fade into the distance.
Prince Suthon, you may take Princess Manora to your homeland.
From that eventful day until the end of their lives, Princess Manora and Prince Suthon lived happily ever after in the prosperous kingdom of Panchan.